Every Ramadan, I raise money for boreholes in the Gambia. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ said a drink of water is the best charity. Over the years, Spot has built over 215 boreholes, giving water to more than 100,000 people in crucial places like clinics and mosques. Help me make more, link in the description. Assalamu alaikum guys, and welcome to another episode of Smile to Jannah. Ladies and gentlemen, Tucker Carlson's interview with Mark Huckabee is all over social media. Mark Huckabee is the US ambassador to Israel. I'm not going to be focusing on the fact that Tucker Carlson interviewed him at the airport of Israel because he didn't want to go in. Some of his staff did go in, stayed in Tel Aviv, and they started getting interrogated like crazy. He talks about his ordeal over there and is very concerned about how Americans are treated in Israel. These last couple of days have been a big exposition with regards to how the American elite see Israel, whether it's because of blackmail, whether it's because of this or that, whatever the case may be. Some are even saying, Mark Blumenthal, he's saying that Trump is scared for his life when it comes to the Israelis. He's not the only one. We know what happened to JF Kennedy. So he's there as a shining example of if you decide to go against them. That being said,
you've appealed to Genesis. Genesis 15 says it's Abram, it's pre-Abraham, it's Abram, the Euphrates to the Nile.
So he's talking about the biblical account. He's talking about the Zionists claiming that this is their land. And let's go to the ending. That's the most interesting bit.
Once again, basically the entire Middle East. So God gave that.
Go a bit back.
And that land, I think it says, from the Nile to the Euphrates, which is, once again, basically the entire Middle East. So God gave that land to his people, the Jews, or he didn't. You're saying he did. What does that mean?
So Tucker Carlson, in a roundabout sort of way, just said that the land that is quote unquote promised to you according to the Bible is pretty much the Middle East. What do you think about that? If you claim that that's the promised land and you deserve it, are you calling for the entire Middle East or most of the Middle East to be under your control?
Does Israel have the right to that land? Because you're appealing to Genesis. Yeah. You're saying that's the original deed.
It would be fine if they took it all.
It would be fine if they took it all. This is the clip, ladies and gentlemen. We got it. This is the clip that people are spreading like crazy. It's not out of context. Tucker himself put this clip out. And this is why people are saying, and not only is America colonized, its leaders, its institutions compromised, but also we're seeing this in the Middle East as well. And those people that are saying, yes, Israel is just going for Iran at this moment in time, that's fine. It's the Shias, that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's okay. But you don't understand. You got to look at the bigger vision. We're supposed to be people of foresight, people that can see into the future. But apparently Israel, every step they take is bearing the foresight in mind, because there's a reason why they've gone for the jugular of the globe, and that is America. Because let's face it, without America they can't do much, and they've got America in such a death grip that now, from this that we're seeing, these are the most explicit statements that we've heard. We've heard our scholars and people of the past saying, you know what, this is the case, and people dismissed it as, oh, these mullahs and the conspiracy theories, or these, you know, left-wingers and the conspiracy theories, or labels, you know, these individuals, just trying to discredit them. However, in this episode, you're going to see as clear as day. I mean, one you've already seen. Let's move on. Now, when it comes to the promised land, Tucker Carlson here is going to say, prove it. Prove that that land actually belongs to you genetically. If you claim ethnically to be part of that land, why are you so scared to prove it?
Abram's descendants are the ones who have the right to have this land, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we do genetic testing on everybody in the land and find out who Abram's descendants are? It's really simple. We've cracked the human genome. We can do that. Why don't we do that? Would you be against doing that?
Very simple question, yeah? Even a 5-year-old can understand roughly what's being asked over here. Listen to this guy's response.
I have no idea what that would prove. I mean, maybe it would be.
What do you mean?
What? What? I don't understand. What are you saying? You know I'm a senile old man. You know, have some mercy on me. What are you saying?
What it would prove who Abram's descendants are and who has a right to live here and who doesn't, according to the theology that you yourself just explained. And so I'm very confused as to why we don't do that. If you believe the theology that you've just explained to me,
Would we do that all over the world?
well,
and everybody
this is the only country in the world that
Would somebody in Romania do that? Yeah, Romania's not claiming that that land belongs to them ancestrally. Flipping Madagascar doesn't claim that that land was promised to them 3,000 years ago. What is this, Grandpa doing? He had to sit up for this one. Look, first he was like, what do you mean? What's genes?
and everybody
this is the only country in the world that you've said has this covenant with God, that this people have a moral and legal right to the land.
What about people who convert to Judaism? Would they have a right?
Well,
He had some time to think about. What about converts? What about if you convert to Judaism? You can't, because for Judaism you're supposed to be born a Jew. That's what makes you a proper Jew, not the fake ones that convert because whatever, you know what I mean?
and so if you believe that, wouldn't you want to know with a burning passion who those people are? And because of science, we can now know who those people
Science.
are. So why aren't we finding out?
Yeah.
I guess you could propose a DNA test for everybody who comes here, everybody who lives here.
You could propose this, you know. Tucker proposes Israelis. Nah, we don't accept what he says. Well, I guess he proposed it. It got rejected. You're the ambassador to Israel, mate. How about you do the proposing?
Have connection to this land historically, biblically.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
If Bibi's family, we know they lived in Eastern Europe. There's no evidence they ever lived here. He's not religious.
But
in what sense how do we know
ancestrally,
So Benjamin Netanyahu, his family is from, I think it's Poland, yeah? Netanyahu's not even his name. So this is the father, yeah? Benzion Netanyahu. But this was his name, yeah? Milkowski. What the hell is a Milkowski? Well, from Warsaw, Poland. Yeah, and look, his kids, one of them's Mr. Netanyahu. Why did he change his name? Yeah, the guy is not even religious. He's an atheist. Talking about God promised us this land.
Do you have his family tree? No, we don't.
do you?
He doesn't. So no one does. That's the point. So
if
how do
there
we
is-
know that he
but
has any
if they
connection
are
to this land at
Jewish,
all?
And if there has been a practice of Judaism,
He doesn't practice Judaism in any rigorous way. His ancestors didn't live here. They didn't speak the language, and there's no evidence they ever lived here. So on what basis does he have a right
very
to be
much
here?
speaks the language. He has fought for the land. His family has
I
fought
feel
for
like
the
you're
land.
dodging a
No, I'm not
very
dodging.
obvious question, which is where does this right come from? And the
I've-
reason
I've
it's
given you
meaningful
that
is
answer.
because there are a lot of people in the territory that Israel controls today, particularly in the West Bank, who through genetic testing, we can know their families have been here for
They
thousands.
don't want to do genetic testing, Tucker. That's the point. You just got to accept what they're saying. If you don't, you're an anti-Semite and, you know, they'll threaten you and all that sort of stuff, just like your president. That's just the way things work. You're colonized, I'm afraid. This was another one. Yeah, this was an interview, Sky News Arabia, of U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham.
It's an absolute existential threat to the Jewish people. What happened on October the 7th was 1,200 people were slaughtered, raped, and murdered and filmed by radical Islamists who would kill every
Is it me or this guy just looks demonic?
Jew if they could, to the world. If you don't understand this is a threat to Israel's
And then they
survival,
flattened Gaza.
just flatten it. We flattened Berlin. We flattened Tokyo. Were we
She's in
wrong?
shock. She's like, I can't react to it because I'm a journalist, but what the flip is wrong with this demon?
To drop an atomic bomb.
So to justify the acts of Israel, what he's doing is, well, we did this, we did this, we did this. So Israel also has the right to do this?
To end the Japanese reign of terror, were we? Were we wrong to drop an atomic bomb to end the Japanese reign of terror? Were
Yes, you were wrong to drop an atom bomb on Japan that killed civilians. It was you clearly picked Hiroshima and Nagasaki, populated areas, to send a message to the Soviets. Yes, you were wrong.
So, my view, if I were Israel, I would have probably done it the same way. Without military victory, there is no hope of breaking radicalism.
There you go. I would have done it the same way. Yes, over half of the population are women and children. I would have done it the same way. Why? Because those kids would have grown up and then taken away the land that's promised to us in the Bible. Yes, the Bible. And here's another thing.
Could it be that Jeffrey had a completely different life that he just did not tell you
So
about?
this is Dershowitz, Jewish, Zionist, lawyer of Epstein, yeah?
And it may also have included being a spy. I mean, clearly.
Telling me that he worked for the Mossad would have given him a get-out-of-jail-free card. I could have gotten him no jail time. If he had told me he worked for the Mossad, for the CIA, it would have been a slam dunk for me to go to whoever I had to go to, even up to the President of the United States, and I would have gotten him a deal with no time.
I would have gone to the President of the United States, said he's working for Mossad, and then he would have been out. What the hell is this?
Time at all.
Hang on a second. You mean if he'd said he was working with the Mossad or CIA, then he would get off being a pedophile?
That's right.
He's a lawyer and he can't think of anything. He can't get out of that situation. Flippin' heck. This was another thing I wanted to add.
Now, I'll tell you where Christians are not doing very well. They're not doing very well in the Muslim-controlled countries. There's almost no Christians in Qatar, for example.
No, almost no Christians in Qatar.
Except those who live in the Christian ghetto, who are the service workers.
I'm sorry. Look, I don't want to argue with you. There are many more Christians in Qatar than there are in Israel.
Oh, more Christians in Qatar than there are in Israel. Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to share that with you. And I want to end with this, yeah? This is also a clip that's worth circulating.
Israeli Channel 10 reported in March of...
Israeli Channel 10. The reason why I'm emphasizing this is because I missed it when he said it. Because I'm like, give the source for this. You're making a big claim.
Reported in March of 2014 that...
March of 2014.
Israel has the largest human skin bank in the world.
How on earth did they get the largest human skin bank? Was it through their own people that die and they just take the skin off? No, that can't be it. Is it because of the 70,000 plus Palestinians that they've killed and they don't even return the bodies? Oh, well, I think I've cracked that case. Watson, what say you we move on to the next one now?
Where do you think they got all this skin from? They have more human skin than China and India.
And China and India combined make up about half of the population of the globe. And Israel still beats them.
They are literally skinning the dead bodies of my brothers and sisters in Palestine. That's where they are getting the human skin from. And if I call them Nazis, your law is going to punish me.
Yeah. That's sickening. This was February 18th, 2026. Yeah, about 3 days ago. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the update that I got for you so far. Make sure you keep it locked and loaded. Here on Smile to Jannah. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.